This episode of the Hanging with Abe podcast is brought to you by Luggage X, #1 place to get all your luggage. When you order your carry-on, when you order your suitcase, it's going to come in something like this. All right? You got a white cloth here. Okay? I take this out. All right? Take it out for you, show you. All right? Look at that. Aluminum. This drops on the ground. It won't dent. Carrying it through the airport. It's lightweight. All right? It's not like you're pushing around a whole bunch of bricks. All right? Check it out. No zipper. Okay? No zipper on this at all. Okay? All right? Look at the back here. Protected. Look at the wheels here. All right? This is a beautiful, beautiful work of art that I'm showing you right here. All right? Some of the things that it comes with. Okay? Some of the things about it. All right? Full aluminum corner protectors. Provides further protection for you. All right? Made lightweight. No zippers at all. All right? Has rotating wheels. 360 wheels. All right? Pushing it through the airport. It's lightweight. Rolls smoothly. Won't catch on anything. Won't fall over. All that. All right? If you're traveling, you need somewhere to get some luggage, Luggage X is the way to go. All right?
This is the Hanging with Abe podcast.
Episode 38 of the Hanging with Abe podcast. I want to say thank you to everybody out there that tapped into episode 37. I really, really appreciate that. That was a very good episode with me and my brother, Jason. Make sure you check out his clothing line, Stamp Life. He is doing his thing out there in Maryland. Much love to him, and I just thank him so much for coming on this episode. And thank you to everybody who's tapping in or who will continue to tap into episode 37. Episode 38, we got a lot to talk about, man. There's been so much going on in the world. Things that, I really, really want to touch on. We're going to talk about the Tyre Nichols situation. We're going to talk about KD going to the Phoenix Suns. We're going to talk about Kyrie Irving going to the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about the Grammys because the Grammys was crazy. That was good if you missed out on that. But we're going to get into and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff on this episode. I just thank you guys all for all your support, man. Just make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the Hanging with Abe podcast. Share it with your friends. Share it with family. But I just thank everybody for all the love and support. Before we get into anything, I want to let y'all know that the Hanging with Abe podcast is now monetized. I am now part of the YouTube Partner Program, meaning I can now make money off of my podcast. When I started this journey, this was the dream, to make money off of it. And just continue to tell people's beautiful stories. I am thankful that, that part of the journey have finally achieved that. But all that stuff wouldn't be possible without y'all, man. Tapping in, looking at the episodes, liking the episodes, and sharing the episodes. So I want to say thank you very much for everybody that has tapped in, everybody who has shared an episode, everybody who has been on my podcast. I thank you so much. I am so blessed. This is such a humbling experience. And I want to say thank you. The Hanging with Abe podcast is now monetized. All right. With that being said, I want to go ahead and get started on something that is a very, very sensitive and emotional topic. I did not get a chance to get on my IG live and talk about this because it just was hard for me. I watched the video of what happened to Tyre Nichols. I watched both versions. I watched the body cam version and I watched the street version. Both of them are very, very sad. The saddest part about that video is when he's calling out for his mom, the way that they pulled him out of the vehicle and just started beating up on him. I just was sad. I shared this. Talked about him in my social studies class. I teach social studies, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Shout out to Bridge, Boston. And we talked about it and we had an open conversation about it. I got a chance to realize how they felt about it. And one of my students raised her hand and she said, the fact that it was 4 Black officers who did this to Tyre Nichols, she was shocked. We already deal with enough as a race. We already deal with enough as a community. To find out that 4 Black officers did this to him was very surprising to me as well, with everything that we're facing and everything that's going on in the world. It's a very, very sad story. It's a very sad situation. My love goes out to his family, his friends, and everybody that knew him. They say that, he was a nice, loving young man. And, what happened to him was very, very sad. It's very unfortunate. We have to figure out a better way. All right. We cannot continue to have this happen. All right, it was Tyre Nichols, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. The list goes on and on. We have to figure out a way how to stop this. And I'm just very, very just very, very sad that, that happened to Tyre Nichols. So my love, like I said, goes out to his family, goes out to his mom, goes out to his dad, and anybody that knew him. The four black officers were charged with the murder of Tyre Nichols. They're awaiting trial. Last time I checked, I heard that two of them, or maybe all of them, ended up posting bail. But hopefully he'll get justice for what happened to him, because it's a very, very sad situation. If you can stomach watching the videos, I would say that you should watch them. But if you can't, you know what I mean, it's all good. But that was a very, very, very sad thing. And this happened in Memphis, Tennessee. It was a traffic stop, and they just, pulled him out the car and just started beating him really, really bad. So again, my love goes out to him and his family. All right, we're going to go ahead and transition. Let's go ahead and transition to the NBA. All right, because the NBA has been making a lot of noise. The trading deadline just passed. All right, All-Star game is actually coming on tonight, I believe. But the trading deadline, there was a lot going on. The Los Angeles Lakers, they traded away Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz. From what sources says is that Westbrook was just bad in the locker room. They said it was like he was like a vampire in the locker room. He killed all the joy from a lot of the players. The Los Angeles Lakers got younger. They got D'Angelo Russell. They also got somebody else from the Utah Jazz. I think his name Malik Beasley. And they got younger, and that's pretty much what they need. Since that trade, they've been taking off. They've been playing great basketball. AD is healthy, and that's the biggest part to this. AD is healthy. If AD can stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? The Lakers got a shot. Right now, I think they are 13th in the Western Conference. They are 3 games back of the sixth seed. So if they can continue to win these games and get to the sixth seed, they have an opportunity to, hopefully get in the playoffs. Don't know how much noise they would make, but they definitely can do a little something. So shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers for getting younger. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley for being a part of the Lakers. And, we'll see what they can do. The biggest, two of the biggest trades in the trading deadline, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Kyrie Irving to Dallas Mavericks. That was huge. Pairing Luka and Kyrie Irving together. That seems to be working out for the Dallas Mavericks. We'll see how long that works. Kyrie Irving has killed a lot of joy from a lot of teams, man. Starting from right here, our own Boston Celtics. And then, he went on to the Brooklyn Nets. But before that, he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and everywhere that he has been, he has won it out. He has done something to get himself out of the situation. Now, he's with Dallas. You know what I mean? Dallas has Luka, MVP candidate, a very, very good young player. You pair them both in the backcourt. I think that they can do so much together. So we definitely will see what happens there. I just think that Kyrie Irving, again, I think Kyrie Irving is a very good basketball player. I feel like he plays very hard. I feel like that sometimes he is misunderstood, but he's an NBA champion as well. Let's not forget that in order for the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the NBA Finals, he hit that jump shot to get them that victory. So he does have winning in his DNA, and I just want to see how this is going to work with him and Dallas out there in a packed Western Conference. It's packed now. You got talent all over the place, so we'll definitely see. But that was a big trade. But I want to say like the biggest trade was KD going to the Phoenix Suns. That was a huge trade. You put KD with Chris Paul, you put him with Devin Booker, and we're going to see how that works out. KD is on his third team. All right. He started off with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He went to the Golden State Warriors. Now he's with the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker and Chris Paul. There's no reason why, in my humble opinion, the Phoenix Suns should not at least be in the NBA Finals this year. I still don't think that just because they got KD that they are going to win the NBA Finals. I just think they have a very offensive-heavy team. And I don't know. When it comes to the NBA playoffs, it's all about who can play both sides of the floor. I still think, and I'm still going to stand by the Boston Celtics winning the 2023 NBA championship this year. I just think the Boston Celtics can play on both sides of the floor, and I just feel like they have a better team. KD going to the Phoenix Suns, though, is no slouch. KD, healthy, can give you 50 points on any given night. Devin Booker, healthy, can give you 50 points on any given night. They have the point guard, they call him, and Chris Paul, that is leading the team. So there's so many things that can go right with the Phoenix Suns. I want to see if they can defend. That's my biggest thing is if they can defend. We know that they're going to put up points. We know that KD's going to do his thing. I'm just shocked that he left the Brooklyn Nets. I say this all the time. I don't think that Kevin Durant is a bad player. I think he's probably one of the top 10 best players in the NBA. I don't think he's a leader though, because in a situation that he just was in, he could have easily just said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and ride this out. I'm gonna stay with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna see what I can do here, and I'm gonna see if I can get us to a playoffs, and eventually get us to being an NBA champion. The fact that he just up and left them to go to another team where he's just joining their team that's already assembled, that's just pretty much been his DNA the last couple of the last couple of years. I'm just going to join whatever's hot at this time. Please do not rank him ever to LeBron James. He is nowhere near what LeBron James is as a basketball player. Because if this was LeBron James, and LeBron was doing this, we would be killing him all day in the media. Say, you know what? How can he do that? He's just jumping from team to team. But KD, nobody says anything. I wish him the best of luck out there in Phoenix. Hopefully they can get it together. Hopefully he can get another NBA title. But we'll see. But like I said before, I still have the Boston Celtics winning the NBA championship this year because I just think at the end of the day they have the better team and they also have a bench. And when it comes down to playoff basketball, we all know you need to be able to defend and you got to have a bench. So we'll see what happens with that. With that being said, talked about LeBron James a little bit, all-time leading scorer. You know what I'm saying? He got the record. Last episode, 2 episodes ago, I was talking about this, episode 36, and I said that he was on his way of breaking the record. He has broken the record. LeBron James is now the NBA all-time leading scorer. It was a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? If you watched it, you saw him hit the fadeaway. His family was there. His mom was there. His wife was there. Bryson Bronny was there. His daughter was there. Everybody that knew that he was going to do that was there in attendance. Floyd Mayweather, Jay-Z, Usher, Denzel Washington. Everybody was in the building to watch LeBron James break that record. I say it all the time, man. It's a magnificent career that he's leading right now. You know what I mean? Like he has any obstacle that's been thrown in his way, he has overcome it. You know what I mean? He has been the best player in the NBA since he's been 18 years old. All right, fresh out of high school, thrown right into the fire. All right, never been in trouble. All right, built the school. He's done so many good things. He's a billionaire off the court. Anything happens, and I've said this over and over again, anything that happens in the black community, LeBron James is the first person to speak up for us. And it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to see that all his hard work has paid off, and he is now the all-time leading NBA scorer. And it's a good feeling, man. We graduated high school the same year, 2003. Everybody knows how I feel about LeBron James, all my friends and family. So everybody knows how I feel about him. I just think he's the greatest basketball player of all time, and that is my humble opinion. And that is my opinion. I'm never going to waver from that opinion. I've been saying that for the longest time. And right now, he is an all-time leading scorer, so we got to make sure that we celebrate him for his accomplishment. And who knows? You know what I'm saying? It took 38 years for somebody to break that record. We'll see how many more. We'll see how many years it takes for somebody to break this record that he has set. He is still playing basketball at an all-time high. He has no, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to slow down anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even look that way. So we'll see at the end of his career how many points he ends up with, and we'll see if we can get another championship. Like I said before, the Lakers got younger, so we'll see what they can do. But that's everything that's going on in the NBA, man. It's going to be very, very exciting. The NBA All-Star Game comes on tonight. And we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Team LeBron versus Team Giannis. That should be a really, really good one. LeBron James also setting a record there. I think this is like his 23rd All-Star game. So it's beautiful right now in the NBA. The playoffs are coming up, and we definitely will be back to talk about that and what's going on in the NBA playoffs. All right, you know what I'm saying? We talked about Tyre Nichols. We talked about the NBA. Let's go ahead and talk about the NFL, man. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs for being the Super Bowl champions. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes for being the Super Bowl MVP. Not going to lie to you, man. I was a little bit scared watching that game. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Shout out to the Eagles. They put up a good fight. They played very, very hard in that game. Much respect to them because, they did their thing. But at the end, Patrick Mahomes, man, sprained ankle, everything, did his thing in that game. And it all took place like in the second half. The first half, Eagles dominated the first half. You know what I mean? Watching that game, if you're watching that game, you're like, all right, this is just what the Eagles do. Go up and down the field. You can't really stop them. There was no answer for Jalen Hurts. There was no answer for the AJ Brown. the wide receivers. There was no answer at all. All of a sudden, here comes the second half. Andy Reid, you know what I'm saying, made adjustments, did what he had to do to put his team in position to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, let's not forget, before they go into halftime, Patrick Mahomes sprains his ankle. All right. He's hobbling off the football field. Comes out in the second half. You don't even know that he had an ankle injury. My man was throwing the football all around that field. Um, the Kansas City Chiefs scored on the same two plays. All right. Same type of play 2 times in a row. All right. At that point, it's coaching to me. You know what I mean? I think Andy Reid just outcoached the Eagles head coach, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Andy Reid is an OG. He's been there longer. You know what I'm saying? He knows what it takes. So you know what I mean? Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, doing his thing like he always does. And everybody's asking, is this a dynasty? I definitely think that this is a dynasty. I do think the Kansas City Chiefs have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl next year. Will they? We don't know. But you know what? I'm never betting against Patrick Mahomes. If anybody can get the job done, it's definitely him. We'll see how the NFL, how free agency goes, where Aaron Rodgers goes, where Lamar Jackson goes, where DeAndre Hopkins goes. All these big names, all these big pieces. Sean Payton is now the coach of the Denver Broncos. They should be a little bit better. They're saying that Aaron Rodgers may go out to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying, with Josh McDaniels. We'll see what happens with that. If that happens, the Raiders will be a little bit better, and the AFC West will be packed again. All right? Like Patrick Mahomes said, they won a Super Bowl on a rebuilding year. This was a year that the Kansas City Chiefs were supposed to be rebuilding. All right? Doesn't look like a rebuild to me. Not any time that you win a Super Bowl championship. They also lost Tyreek Hill. But you know what? It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Story's the same. As long as you got 1-5 back there throwing the football, and you got Travis Kelce catching the passes, the unguardable tight end, and probably one of the greatest tight ends of all time. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need. There's nothing else that you need besides Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid and Eric the Enemy. All right. Also, man, get my man Eric Enemy. I mean, get him a job, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of the best offensive coordinators in football. Probably one of the best minds in football as well. 2 Super Bowls on his resume. My man needs a job, man. I know it's a lot of coaches out there, a lot of franchises out there. Sorry, not coaches. A lot of franchises out there that need a head coach. He's a winner. He's a proven winner. He's also coaching probably the best quarterback that we have seen in a very, very long time. It's crazy. I saw this stat on, I think I saw it on Facebook. They put up Tom Brady stats and they put up Patrick Mahomes stats at the age of 27. Similar. You know what I'm saying? He's on his way. Will he win 7 Super Bowl rings? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But right now he has 2. He's definitely going to get 3, maybe even get 4. Don't know if he'll get 7, but you know what? He's on his way to being a GOAT. So shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the 2022-2023 Super Bowl, and and hopefully, they'll get a chance to win it next year, and we'll see how that all goes. All right, so that's football. Um, Around the same time that was going on, the Super Bowl was going on. I think a week before that, we had the Grammys. All right, shout out to Beyonce, the all-time leader in Grammys. I think she got 29 Grammys. She won a Grammy for her album Black Renaissance. So shout out to Beyonce for getting that award. That's a big award. She's going to continue to win Grammys because it's Beyonce. All right, shout out to the Beehive. You know what I'm saying? I know they love them some Beyonce. So definitely shout out the Beehive, and shout out Beyonce, man, for getting that 29th Grammy. I think Quincy Jones was on that list. Michael Jackson was on that list. And she just keeps setting the bar, man, for what excellence should look like. And she is a definition of excellence. But the Grammys is good. Lizzo won an award. Shout out to Lizzo. I don't really listen to a lot of Lizzo's music, but I feel like she makes a lot of feel-good music. She's very comfortable in her skin, and I definitely respect that. She's not trying to be anybody else. She's just her. And she's making music out here that's positive, that people can dance to, people can cry to, people can sing to. So shout out to Lizzo. She also won a Grammy. Shout out to Adele. I love me some Adele. She also won a Grammy. And, Adele's Adele. Beautiful voice, sings from the soul, sings from the heart. It sings with so much pain. Her last album was very, very good. I actually did listen to that. Haven't listened to the Lizzo, but I listened to Beyonce's album, and I listened to Adele's album. So shout out to Adele, for winning a Grammy as well. Shout out to Harry Styles. All right, all my Harry Styles fans out there. I've never heard his music. I was shocked with it. I'm not going to lie to you. I was shocked. Me and my fiance was shocked when Harry Styles won Album of the Year at the Grammys. I was like, Harry Styles, who the hell is Harry Styles? Never heard his music, but according to everybody, he has really, really good music. I'm definitely gonna have to tap into that and check that out a little bit. That's not, saying that's not my area of expertise, but I'm definitely gonna have to check that out because I heard his album was pretty good. Saying not gonna lie, we were, my fiance and I were a little bit upset that B didn't take that one because the Black Renaissance album is a very, very good album. Adele's album is a very, very good album. I knew that Kendrick wasn't gonna take it. But it was a lot of good albums that he was up against, and he went ahead and snatched that. So shout out to Harry Styles for winning album of the year at the Grammys. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, man, rap album of the year. Big Steppers, Mr. Morale's album. I said that on my last episode with me and my brother Jason. That is my number one album of 2022. Kendrick Lamar does not miss. He is the best rapper in this generation. No matter how you feel about it, he definitely is. And he's that dude. And shout out to him, man, for winning Rap Album of the Year at the Grammys. The biggest thing, two biggest takeaways from this year's Grammys. 50 years of hip hop. All right. If you watch that, magic. All right. People sung along to that. It took people back. It took people back to the 80s. Took people back to the early 90s. You had Queen Latifah. You had Public Enemy. You had Big Boy from Outkast. You had LL Cool J. You had Method Man. You had Missy. So many acts, you know what I'm saying? So many acts came out there to celebrate the 50 years of hip hop. Not gonna lie, I feel some type of way. Where was Tribe Called Quest? Where was De La Soul? Where was there's a few other groups in there that I'm saying that we missed out on. Um, but where were like all of those people? All right. Um, and Rakim was there. All right. Shout out to Rakim. Where is Big Daddy Kane? You know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane wasn't around. Um, you know, um, they didn't do a Biggie tribute. They didn't do a Tupac tribute. So you know what I'm saying? I had a couple of gripes with it, but at the end of the day, the Grammys did their thing. 50 years of hip hop. They celebrated it. It was very, very good. And I really, appreciate the Grammys doing that and showing hip hop love because that's the biggest thing about the Grammys. We always feel like um, they don't show love to hip hop. You know what I mean? That's like one of the things that they don't show love to. So I think that they did a really, really good job of um, all the performances and everything. They did a very, very good job of that, and it was beautiful. Um, with that being said, so the second thing is the God did. Jay-Z's God did. Well, DJ Khaled's God did. Probably the best performance of the night. It was great, man. Lil Wayne was there. Rick Ross was there. Jay-Z was there. Um, John Legend was there. I just think it was beautiful. They did the performance outside. Jay-Z has not been to the Grammys for a long, long time. I think he boycotted the Grammys for a while. I want to say he hasn't performed at the Grammys since I don't know. I don't know if he ever performed at the Grammys. I'll have to look that up. But the performance was fly, man. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z closed it out, sitting at the table, sitting in the middle of the table. They did the God Last Supper reference, and he was in the middle. He is the God MC. You know what I'm saying? That's what they look up to him as, and that's what he is to them. He's a God MC, greatest MC of all time. All right, we're going to talk about that in a second because a lot of people are upset about that Billboard list, Billboard's 50 greatest rappers, but we're going to touch on that in a second. But you know what I'm saying? Killed the verse. God did was incredible. He came through and he shut it down. He did what he did what Jay-Z does, and it was great. So shout out to the Grammys. Very, very good performances. Very good Grammys this year. I was very, very pleased with it. Me and my fiance watched the whole thing. And we really, really liked it. I was tired the next day getting up for work, but you know what? We felt it was worth it. So that was very, very good. All right, we're gonna transition into hip hop. What's the Hanging with A podcast? Without talking about hip hop. Shout out to the Tribe Called Quest, man. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, if you know me, you know I love Tribe Called Quest. Q-Tip, Phife Dawg, Ali. All right, shout out to them. Rest in peace to Phife Dawg. Um, but that's one of my favorite groups of all time, man. Midnight Marauders, Low End Theory. All right, the list goes on and on. all the music that they've done. I am happy that they're finally getting their recognition and they're going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because they deserve that. They have come out with so many timeless songs and they have so many great albums. If you don't know, if you are MC, you know what I'm saying, and you watch the Hanging with A podcast, make sure you go ahead and listen to Low End Theory. That should be in your catalog. Midnight Marauders should be in your catalog. All right, Tribe Called Quest, man. So, shout out to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for putting them in there. All right, now I'm gonna get to something else, a heavy topic. A lot of people feel some type of way about the Billboard's 50 greatest rappers of all time. All right, I don't know what the problem is. Everybody's upset that Jay-Z is number one on that list. People are upset at who was in the top 10 on that list. Um, I'm a whole fan. So you know what? I was fine with him being number one. I think he is the greatest MC of all time. His longevity and just what he's brought to the rap game and the fact that he's been able to transition with every era of hip hop so far. He's 52 years old. He just was nominated for a Grammy for a verse. All right. Not an album, people. Just a verse. Okay. 52 years old. Still can rap for 4 minutes. Every bar, every line, nothing but the truth. A lot of your MCs right now can't do that. They lie in all their music. You know what I'm saying? But y'all still be out here buying it and supporting it. All right? Keyword there. They lie in all their music. Everything that they doing is false advertisement. All right? I'm all about rappers rapping about what they really have. Give me some growth. Stimulate my mind. Inspire me. I'm all set with all that mumble rap and all the stuff that's out now. All right? Not too many people doing no real MCing. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Who else was on that list? Top 7. Snoop was like 7 on that list. I have an issue. This is my issue with Snoop being ranked so high. All right. I get it that he's still around. We're going to talk about longevity. I get all that. Can somebody name me one Snoop Dogg record, classic record after Doggy Style? I can't. All right. The only good album I feel like Snoop Dogg has come out with, the only classic album, I should say, not good album, because he's come out with good records after Doggy Style, but not a classic album. Doggy Style is his only classic album. All right. But he's ranked so high. And I'm just like, why? You know what I'm saying? So can somebody help me understand that? All right. You know what I'm saying? I know the people that have Snoop number one on their list, they probably gonna kill me for that. But I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why Snoop Dogg is always ranked so high. Um, Drake was on that list. Drake was like 10. Drake is definitely top 10. He's definitely top 10. I wouldn't put him in top 5, but I definitely think he's top 10. Um, I think Nicki Minaj was in that list. Um, Kendrick Lamar was number 2. Nas was 3. Um, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I love Kendrick. Do I think he's the second greatest MC of all time? I do not think that. I think that should have went to Nas, and maybe you move Kendrick to like 3. I'll put Kendrick at 5. I don't think Kendrick should have been 2. But as far as being the greatest rapper of this generation that's out now, he definitely has that title, easily. So, yeah, that was a list, man. A lot of people upset at the list. Eminem. Also, Eminem was ranked really, really high. Um, but you got to give it, man. M kicked down a lot of doors. If you're going off lyricists, Eminem is probably one of the best lyricists in the rap game. You know what I'm saying? It's not even close. You know, a lot of people get upset about that, saying like, oh, Eminem's ranked so high. Why is Eminem ranked so high? What has he done? He's done a lot for hip hop, man. He broke down so many barriers. He kicked down so many doors. All right. A lot of the white MCs that are in the game now, they got to thank Eminem. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Eminem coming in being successful, none of them would have this lane that they have. All right. So shout out to Eminem also for being on that list. I'm not mad at him being on that list because I just feel like he is one of the 50 greatest rappers of all time. And I think he is in the top 10, if not top 5, depending on who you ask. All right. So that was a Billboard list. You know, a lot of people are upset about that. We got a lot of good hip hop coming out in 2023. Benny the Butcher just announced that he has an album coming out with Hit Boy called Everyone Can't Go. If you remember, Hit Boy and Benny came out with an album, The Burden of Proof, which was a very, very good album. So I already know that this was going to be a good album. Hit Boy does not miss. You know what I'm saying? He's got an album coming out with music called Heroes and Villains. That album will be out March 10th. That album will be out. So shout out to Hit Boy, man. Just out here just doing this thing and producing very, very good music for us. Ransom's probably going to come out with a new album. He's back with Nicholas Craven. If you know anything about Ransom and Nicholas Craven, you know that they don't miss as well. So we got a Ransom record coming as well. We also got rumors of saying that we got a Griselda group project coming, Benny, Westside Gun, Conway the Machine. So we have that coming as well. What else is going on in hip hop? Albums. We talked about the Grammys. Um, shout out, you know what I'm saying, before this even closes out, shout out, you know what I'm saying, to my favorite female MC out in Rhode Island. Shout out to Kay, man. She's got a single out called Doing Me. Um and it's a very, very good song. She's doing her thing. I had her on episode 32 of the Hanging with Abe podcast. She is probably one of the talented MCs out of Rhode Island right now. She is my favorite MC in Rhode Island right now. She is doing her thing. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to the young king and my little brother, YVN Legacy, who produced that track. All right. That's my man. I also talked about him on the last episode, doing his thing, man, producing Melody Mondays. Make sure that y'all tapping into that. The brother is talented. All right. He's talented, and both of them will be household names. So just make sure that y'all pay attention to that. Um, and that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like everything in hip hop, it looks good. You know what I mean? A lot of good music coming out, everything coming out. Um, so just keep a close eye on that. The Hanging with Abe podcast is now monetized. Thank you again for all the love and the support. Thank you to YouTube for accepting the application and making me a partner in the YouTube program. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for, enjoying and liking my content. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end episode 38. I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, all the love that you have shown me. Keep tapping in and make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Peace and love. Take care of yourself.